Welcome back to another OlliOlli World video on the DLC Void Riders. This is going to be on old Bridgey's old bridge. You're going to need to do a 720 spin and finish the level without slamming for the Nebulord challenge. As far as this level goes, there's really only one place that you can really get a 720 off. At least that I found. I mean, it's maybe possible somewhere else, I don't know. But I think the best place to do it is coming up right here in this U rail. You want to do your 720 right here. Easy peasy. And then just finish out the level. Next up is going to be Glowing Bog. You're going to need to find the Lagoon Creature, boop the Phantom Bird, and finish the level without slamming. So first thing you need to do to find the Lagoon Creature is coming up here. We're going to take the lower path instead of the upper path, which just means you need to ollie early to get down on this rail. This will lead you to the Lagoon Creature, which you will see once you cross the water down here at the very bottom. There he is. Now the bird is a little difficult to get, but as long as you time your ollie right, you should be fine. So right here, you need to get to this lower path to boop the bird and go underneath that bridge. It's a little tricky, but a couple attempts, practice it, you'll get it. So then you just gotta finish out the level. Up next is going to be Lighthouse Lagoon. On this one, we need to avoid the Phantom Birds, tweak a grab beneath the flock, and then finish the level without slamming. So this one's a little tricky, but it's actually easier than it sounds. So firstly, you need to get up to where the birds are. So that is going to be coming up here. You need to go up here. Your first bird is going to be here. You have to ollie over it. Make sure you clear it. Ollie over that one. That one's pretty easy to ollie over. This one's the tricky one right here. I just cleared it. And then that one's tricky as well. Now here, coming up, you're going to want to use the void beam, but let go, don't grind the rail, and just tweak a grab down that gap. And that will complete it for you once you get to the end. Next up is going to be Unspeakable Creek. On this one, you need to beat the level using less than 7 wall rides without slamming. We're going to take the very first wall ride that we have. We're going to skip these two by firecracking down the steps. Our next wall ride after this void beam and rail, we will take for wall ride number 2. I actually do it in 5, so there is a little bit of room for error here. If you need to use 2 more wall rides, feel free. I will tell you which ones that are probably the best ones to use. Try to slow yourself down here so you can ollie over this kicker ramp and then lane swap really quickly. Our third wall ride is going to be coming up right here after it pops out of the water. Now coming up, this is a wall ride you can take if you need to, otherwise firecracker down the stairs and jump over that obstacle. We're going to wall ride this one for wall ride number 4. Make our way across this rail, void beam to the top rail again, wall ride number 5. And then I skipped this one, just firecracker and ollie over, but you could use that one if you needed to as well. Next up is going to be Hazardous Henge. On this one, you need to do 2 900 spins and finish without slamming. Your first one can be done right at the beginning using the Void Beam. You should be able to get a 900 easily. The second one will not be until the very end of the level, so just work your way down the path until you can get there to pull off the second 900. I did find these challenges, compared to finding the flow zone, way harder, especially the later levels on like the wherever you battle the Nebulord, whatever you want to call it, if it's really even a battle. Those ones, like the challenges later in this video, are just awful. Alright, so coming up here, we're going to have this second 900. You're going to want to wall ride, grind this rail, and then use this Void Beam to help you spin your 900, land on the rail, and then to finish out the level. Up next is going to be Alpine Woods. On this one, you need to find the hairy beast, boop all the FreezeBees, and finish the level without slamming. So up here, there's going to be a lane swap. Just stay in the lane, don't swap lanes. We're going to go up this way, because this takes us to the hairy beast, and then also to the start of the FreezeBees. There is a little bit of a tricky switch coming up here, though. You're going to have to ollie early before this big wall ride coming up. After this rail, you're going to want to ollie early and don't wall ride. Go down and lane swap quickly. This will take you past the hairy beast. Now, the first bee is right here, so you need to take this upper rail. It's the second bee, third bee, fourth bee, fifth bee, and the final bee. Now all you have to do is finish the level. Up next is going to be the Forgotten UFO Tours. On this one, you need to find the Queen Cow and finish the level without smashing anything. So this one sounds hard, but it's really just a matter of controlling yourself in the Void Beam and not hitting the crystals. So the first one is going to be coming up here. We're going to want to go up the Void Beam path, obviously. Right here, we're going to be going up this path. We need a wall ride and grind this rail, and then again up through the Void Beams, but you just have to release it early so you go underneath that crystal and don't smash it. The cow's right there, and then you have another one of those coming up here. After this rail, you need to go through the Void Beams again, don't smash the crystal, and grind the rail. And then all you have to do now is finish the level. Just be careful here. Do not be tempted to hold a grab and smash through this floor, because that will avoid it. So just land on it and ollie off. Up next is going to be Moo-shine Ranch. On this one, you need to find 2 Cow Piñatas and finish the level without slamming. This one's actually a little bit tricky, but it's not too bad. So we're going to go up top here first, and we're going to just follow the path. We're going to go up, break the crystal, wall ride, and grind the rail. Wall ride, grind the rail, break the crystal, grind the rail. You're going to have to jump off this rail early So you can land on that platform and get the pinata. So that's number one. Second pinata is a little trickier, but it's really just about timing your ollie again and using the void beam correctly. So you're going to go down, you're going to go across these two wall rides, grind this rail, break that, and then this void beam, and you want to go down low and pick up that pinata there. It might take you a couple tries to get the timing right, but once you get the timing, it's really pretty simple. Up next we have Abandoned Observatory. On this one you need to smash 6 crystals and finish the level without slamming. This is a relatively easy one compared to most of the Nebulord challenges. So first things first, you need to get up this path here where the crystals are. It's a little tricky, but it's probably the hardest part of it all. So once you get that first smash, everything else is pretty easy. You can move slow enough to miss that one though, so make sure you're moving fast enough to get that first crystal there. Well, technically it's the second crystal because the floors count as crystals, so. This is a bit of a jump, but as long as you're moving fast enough, you should be fine. Now coming up here, you have to ollie over this kicker and grind the rail to be able to take the gnarly route. And your final crystal is on this route. It is a little bit of a tough gnarly route, so just be patient. If you mess it up, don't worry, it's not that hard of a challenge to just restart and redo. It's pretty quick actually. Up next we have Galax-Seed Zone, and this is where they get really hard. So this one is get a good grade or better for every landing, and I swear I tried this over and over and over with just landings. I wasn't worried about the grinds, and I swear grinds matter. I don't know if that's for sure. I've finished it with like all perfect landings, like landings and manual landings, and it didn't count. And I've completed it. I think you have to do it all. You can't use checkpoints either. So, I don't know. Get good and perfect landings on rails, manuals, and just regular landings. And it should work for you. I tried this one a lot of times until I finally finished it. So, it's one of the more frustrating challenges, but it's definitely doable. So, just don't stress yourself over it. Up next we have E952 Cyclamate Sphere, however you say that. Do a 1260 spin or more and finish the level without slamming. So 1260 is 3.5 spins, and it is going to only be able to be done at one specific point in the level, which is on the gnarly route. So you have to make sure you take the gnarly route or you will not be able to complete it. There's basically just a very long section of void beams that you travel up through, and it allows you to get a 1260 rotated. It is a little tricky though, because if you're not going fast enough or if you don't ollie at the right time, you won't actually make it up and you'll end up bailing. So, you know, it may take you a couple attempts. It definitely took me a couple attempts to get it, but that being said, it's not a super hard challenge, so alright, right here is where you should be able to get the 1260 rotated, wall ride, and then spin through the last bit. And that should do it. Just finish out the level and finish the challenge. Up next we have Atmos Garden. On this one you have to land on all 17 grinds with a grade of good or better and finish the level without slamming. This is another one that just sucks, like really bad. This probably took me the longest out of every single Nebulord challenge. So you have to take the alternate route here, which means you have to ollie off that rail early. If you don't ollie off the rail, you'll miss a whole bunch of rails. I think you miss like 6 rails. So this is pretty tricky though, because there's, after this quarter pipe section, there's a crystal you have to break, and then you have to grind immediately after. So like getting the timing of that to get a good or perfect is just hard. So, but once you get through that, it's relatively pretty straightforward the rest of the way through. Just, you know, make sure you're timing your landings on your grinds, and you should be able to finish it no problem. Next we have Starbot Turf. This one you need to wall ride all billboards and finish the level without slamming. This is another slightly difficult one, but compared to the other ones where you have to have like good or perfect landings, it's not as bad. The problem I had with this level was so many of the wall rides move, and I often would forget that they move, and whenever they moved it would like make me panic and I'd jump off them. So anyway, you need to swap lanes and take this gnarly route, because there is a bunch of wall rides on this route, so you have to take the gnarly route. Now all these wall rides move, so just, you know, be prepared for that and ride them out. Don't jump off them too early. That will literally be the bane of your existence, jumping off wall rides early when they move, because I did it so much. These move as well. This rail is awful. If you ollie just slightly too early, you will just go right into the bush. It's so annoying. So you need to take this high path again here, and then you're gonna wall ride this, but just jump off and go down low. There's no more wall rides up top, but you will miss one if you don't jump down. So the final wall ride is coming up right here, and then just ride it out to the end of the level. Our final challenge is going to be Void Territory, and it is achieve an accumulative spin of 3240 and finish without slamming. So this is very easy. Just literally hold your trigger down, R2, RT, whatever controller you're using, whatever platform you're on, just hold your trigger down and just spin out to your heart's content. There's no real risk to just holding it down. Anyway, you can't bail landing sideways. Even on stairs, it'll just end a combo. So, yeah, just hold it and spin, and you'll easily get this one. Probably the easiest one out of every single challenge. And right here is the end of the level, and we also pop our trophy for completing all the challenges and everything else that goes along with this DLC. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps you. If it did help you, let me know in the comments. Check out some of my other videos. If you liked it, leave a like, and obviously subscribe if you want to. And I will see you in another one of my videos. Have a good one.